Sam
and Laura from Daybyday. Are we gonna have another baby? Well, we're gonna tell you that today in this video. We're gonna tell you that today in this video, as well as how we grew our family. So I guess I should start because I started growing this family long before I met Sam. When I met Sam, I had 3 kids already. Remember that? Yeah. I had 3 kids with my high school sweetheart. My first baby, if I can find pictures. Hi guys. I'm just up here. Or up here, I don't know, wherever you want to put them. Sam will put them up somewhere. But I had my first baby when I was 19 years old, and the minute he was born, I was overwhelmed with how amazing it was. I knew instantly that that is what I was meant to do in this world, and he was a cranky, fussy, crying, grouchy kind of baby, and people would stop me on the street and say, oh, is he a good baby? And I would say, yes, he's wonderful. And looking back now, I can see that no, he was not an easy baby at all, but I was just so in love with the whole idea of him and how amazing it was to have him and to take care of him that I just thought that he was wonderful. 2 years later, a little over 2 years later, I had my second baby, another boy, and it just added to the joy in our family and how wonderful it was. And it was, again, it is what I was here to do. And I didn't even know that that's how I felt about it at the time. I didn't know that that was what I was here to do till many years later, but I loved being a mother. Let's see. 6 years after my second baby, I had Nicholas, and at that point, I knew that it was not going to be going any further with my high school sweetheart, and so we decided to part ways, and there I was, single with 3 kids, and I knew at that time that I did not want to have another baby. I was just so overwhelmed. I don't even know if you can imagine. It was a busy, busy time, and even though I loved it, I definitely felt tested, my patience, and it was just so busy. I knew that I was never going to have another baby, so I got my tubes tied. I had surgery. In Canada, you can just go to your doctor and say, I want to have my tubes tied. I don't want to have any more babies, and they say, okay, and they send you off to the hospital, you have the surgery, and then you're good. You never have another baby. Well, of course, as soon as I did that, actually 2 years after I did that, Nicholas was only 5 weeks old when I had my tubes tied. 2 years later, almost 2 years later, I met Sam. Yeah. And Sam didn't have any kids.
Not that I know of, anyway.
No, he does not have any kids. It can be pretty much guaranteed that he doesn't have any kids. So were you happy with our 3?
Well, yeah, jumped into a ready-made family.
Yeah, you did.
Although my friend said, wow, that's good. You don't have to do all the baby work anymore.
Yeah, Nicholas was 2.
It's all done.
Yep, Nicholas was 2 when we met. It's true. And I worked full-time and Sam worked full-time. And we had our family and our house. We just went along day by day, living our lives, right?
Yep.
And then Nicholas went to school, and my youngest son went to school full-time. Here in Canada, they start when they're, depending on when their birthday is, they can start when they're 3.5 all the way up to when they're 4.5. And he was his birthday was on December the 29th, so just by a couple of days he got the cutoff, so he went when he was 3.5 years old. I worked the midnight shift when he went to school for the first time, and he was gone all day, and it just was horrible for me. I didn't know at the time what was wrong, but something just was not right in my life. Sam was busy working, I was busy working, the boys were at school, and when I had my days off, I would go to the gym all the time. I had the best body that I'd ever had. I worked out all the time. I cut the grass every 3 days. Our house was beautiful. People would stop by on the street and say, wow, your garden is amazing. And people would come by, and I always wanted our house to be clean all the time, remember? And our house was clean all the time because the kids were at school all day and we were busy, and I was miserable. It was awful. I spent all this time doing all these things, and I had no idea what was wrong with me. But I remember saying, God, like, what am I supposed to be doing? This is when I figured out what my life should be about. And I would say, God, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? I just felt so incomplete, like I had nothing to do. And then one day, just out of the blue, when Nicholas was 9? When Nicholas was 9 years old, Sam said, hey, I think I want to have a baby. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Just out of the blue, we were just going along our life, and Sam said, hey, I think I want to have a baby. We were old. We were in our mid 30s, mid-30s, I think, when that happened. And I said, okay, remember that?
Yep.
Because Sam was such a good dad to my boys, and he was so involved. We did a lot of stuff with our kids when they were little, that I felt like he deserved the chance to, makes me even want to tear up, but I felt like he deserved the chance to have his own baby, and he really wanted his own son. Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That didn't happen though.
No, it didn't happen. So back to the hospital we went. Very soon after he said that to me, and all of my friends at work would say, "You're 35 years old. Why would you have another baby now?" And you're crazy. But that's the thing. People can tell you what they think based on their experiences and on how they feel, but people can't make decisions for you based on your experiences and how you feel, because I'm geared for kids. This is what I love, and it is what I'm here to do. And I have so much energy all the time. I just was going all the time that it's not a hardship for me to have a baby. So we went back to the hospital and we had surgery again. I remember the day that I went to have surgery, he was all excited because he was going to be a dad. And when we were in the pre-op room waiting to have the surgery, the nurse came in, or maybe it was the doctor came in and said, okay, well, we're going to make the incision. And then he was talking about how they were going to do the surgery on me. And when he left, Sam said, oh, you have to get cut open for this? And I said, yeah. And he said, oh, maybe we shouldn't do it. But we did do it. So I had my tubes reversed. It was a major operation. I was in the hospital for 4 days, remember?
Yep.
And Sam was home with the boys, and he came every day, and him and Nicholas brought me flowers, and it was just a nice, calm, relaxing. I still remember it was a long weekend in May. And so we went home and we started trying. Like, we didn't even wait for me to heal. We just started trying, right?
No, I don't think we started.
Oh yeah,
trying,
we did. You just don't remember. How can you forget that part? You would think that would be like the most important part to you. But 9 weeks after my surgery, I was pregnant. 9 weeks. My doctor warned us that it could take a long time and it could not work, because when you're dealing with tubal surgery, you could get scar tissue, so many things could happen. But 9 weeks after my surgery, I was pregnant, right? And Sam was going to have a baby. And
my boys were good.
His boys were
I
good.
didn't fire any blanks.
no blanks. So I desperately wanted a girl because I didn't have any girls. And by this time, my oldest son was 17 and Nicholas was 9. Actually, when Gabby was born, my oldest son was 18 and Nicholas was 10. So I desperately wanted a girl, and Sam really wanted another boy. So I knew that she was going to be a girl. I dreamed
Actually, I don't even think I cared.
You didn't care?
No, I didn't care.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that, actually. I knew that Gabby was going to be a girl. I knew.
The second time I wanted a boy.
The second time you wanted a boy. So I think I even cried a little at the ultrasound when they told us that she was a girl. I was just so excited and so happy to have a girl. When she was born, all of a sudden, all that stress and all that awful stuff that I was feeling when I didn't know what I was supposed to do with my life, it all went away instantly. The minute I picked her up and held her, it just felt natural and normal for me. And so I know that that's what I was meant to do. I was meant to have another baby, and it was awesome. And we knew before we even left the hospital that we were going to try again, because Sam still wanted his boy. And I remember when we left the hospital and the nurses said to us, goodbye, and we said, we'll see you soon, because we knew we wanted to have another baby. At that time, I was 36 or 37, 36, I think. Yeah, 36. And the next time when we started trying again when Gabby was 11 months.
Yeah, we started early. Yeah.
We were gonna wait till she was a year to try, but we started at 11 months, so I guess that's kind of early, right? Mm-hmm. Right, so we started trying again at 11 months, and it did not go easy. It took a long time. It was the first time in my entire life that I ever had to try and have a baby. So we tried for 11 more months to have a baby, and then, yay, I was pregnant again. Wasn't that exciting?
It was exciting.
It was exciting, yeah, because we didn't know if it was going to happen or not.
I should tell you the story, though, about when.
Oh, yes, go.
Or we had to drive to the hospital.
The first time when we first had Gabby, Sam was so excited.
was a little bit excited. We had to drive the kids to school, drop them off at school. And then I said, I need a coffee. I need to get my Tim Hortons coffee. So I went and I stopped at the drive-thru. And I heard somebody order it, like say, well, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I want an extra large double. And I couldn't hear her. And she's like, can you speak a little, can I have an extra large double? And I realized I was talking to the garbage can. I didn't really go up to the...
It's true. He ordered his coffee from the garbage
can.
Instead of from
the speaker that you have to talk to.
Yeah, because he was so excited that we were getting ready to go and have our baby.
I was excited or nervous at that time.
Yeah. Oh, but I should also say that he was terrible at the hospital. He was the first time. He was just awful. Nicholas came with us to the hospital. He wanted to be there when Gabby was born, and I was induced, and I started to have contractions. I got there around 7, and I was induced. I started to have contractions, and he kept saying, I'm bored. Are you bored? This is boring. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, just stop. And then finally at 11 o'clock in the morning, he said, well, I'm hungry. We're just going to go and eat. And I said, okay, go and eat. Because he was stressing me out so much because he was bored. When he came back, though, things got exciting, and then he was much better. So then we had Sophia, and Sophia was a great, big, huge baby. She was over 9 pounds, and I knew she was going to be a girl again. Sam really, really wanted a boy, but I knew that she was going to be a girl. I just was so excited to have another girl, and I felt bad, though, because I felt like Sam really needed to have a boy, because he really wanted to have a boy. But he's wonderful with our girls, and I've never regretted.
Gabby's like a boy now, though.
She is. She is like, she does. She loves to ski. She's a daredevil. She likes to do all the things that Sam likes to do. So it works out really well. So after we had Sophia, we knew that we were not going to have another baby. We were just, Sophia had colic, just like Mark did when he was a baby. She was colicky. She cried for 3 months. I didn't get any sleep. And the problem with me is that when I don't get enough sleep, I'm really grouchy.
Then I don't get sleep.
Well, it's true. But Sam can live without sleep and not be grouchy. I'm a miserable beast, aren't I? Yeah, so I think I had a little bit of postpartum depression when I had Sophia. I remember crying over the silliest things. I just needed some sleep. I just needed a little bit of sleep, and she was allergic to milk, and she just was awful for the first 3 months. And I remember just being really glad and standing in the kitchen one day and rocking her and saying, thank goodness we are not going to have a baby. And then Sam said, you remember? Wait, I think I want to have another baby. I want to try one more time. Do you remember when you said that?
Try for that boy.
And I said, okay. Do you remember?
No.
So Sophia was 3 months old, and we said, all right, let's just go for it now. I was still nursing her, but we just decided we were just going to try and see what happened. And if we had another baby, then that was meant to be. And if we didn't, then I really thought it was meant to be, though, because I honestly thought, and I see myself as having another boy, having a baby boy. I have dreamt it. Actually, I dreamt I had twin boys. I have dreamt it. I've seen it. It surprises me that we never got pregnant. Does it surprise you?
No.
No? Well, anyways, we haven't tried for a while now, and I just, I feel like even though it's what we wanted or what we thought we wanted, sometimes God knows best, and who knows what the future is going to bring for us, and there may be a reason why God decided that it's just not in the cards for us to have another baby. Right? Are you happy with what we have now?
Yep, I'm happy.
Yeah, and like he said, Gabby is like having another boy. He will never get bored and tired as long as she's here with us, because she does everything that he likes. He goes skiing, she rides horses, she plays any sport, right?
Yep.
Yep, I feel fulfilled. Do you feel fulfilled?
Yep. I'm happy and fulfilled.
Yeah, me too. So no more babies for us.
What they should do is start renting out babies.
Why?
So when you're all alone as parents, you can go rent out a baby. Never mind.
But that's what we have grandkids for. Luckily, even
That's
though...
around, that is.
Yeah. Luckily, even though we were not successful in having another baby, a final baby, we do have a granddaughter. She's 2 years old. Her name is Brooklyn, and unfortunately, they live far, far, hundreds of miles away from us. But we do get to see her on occasion, and we get to FaceTime with her and see her on the computer, and she watches our vlogs, and it's so wonderful because she will take the iPad to her dad, who is my son, and say, "No, no," and that's Italian for grandpa, and she'll say, "No, no," and my son will put it on. That means that I want to watch No, No on the vlog. So, yeah, and our kids are now 26 and 24 and 18 and 7, almost 8 and 5. So we have lots of grandbabies coming up in the future. And we have still lots of energy for our grandbabies, and lots of energy for our kids, right?
Yep.
I know that when we tried having the girls, we had a lot of comments about, well, you're too old, even from our own kids. Do you remember that? Or even when we wanted to have another baby after Sophia, our teenage kids would be like, "Oh my gosh, you don't need to populate the earth. Why are you having more kids?" But that's the thing. You can't make decisions for us, and we can't make decisions for you. We know what's right for us. And so when people say things like that to me, I just say, we just have to do what is right for us. And we just never looked back. We love our big family. And even though I've been having kids for 25 years I've been having kids. It's the right life for us. So we're done. We're done having babies.
That's our story.
That's our story.
But God, you can send me, or Stork, send me a boy. Through the mail.
Through the mail. We're done having babies.
Postal system.
I guess Sam still wants his boy. Bye, guys.
Bye.